Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Now, for the benefit of those of you who are not familiar with the channel or are watching this channel for the first time, the reason why it is called Uncommon Sense because here on this platform, we discuss everyday issues and we try to find logical solutions. But not everyone uses logic, so for that reason, it is called Uncommon Sense. I want to let everybody know that I'm currently live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. I also need to let everybody know that the subscriber mode has been enabled. What does that mean? That means that if you're not a subscriber and if you wish to enter a comment in the chat, you need to subscribe to the channel. Now, of course, I want to start out by giving a huge shout out to all those who have already subscribed to the channel. Whether it be from the beginning or just recently. I really appreciate all your support and all your love that you're giving towards this platform for the last 2 years. Also want to give a huge shout out to all those who follow me on social media, whether it be Facebook, whether it be YouTube, whether it be TikTok, whether it be Twitter, or any sort of social media. I appreciate all your love and support. And I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who allow me to enter into your devices. So what I'm going to ask you to do is the following. If you have not done so, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe, like, and hit the bell notification to all. So therefore, whenever I do produce content, you will have the opportunity to catch it live or catch it on the playback. Before we get into tonight's topic, and basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be showing video clips from Instagram regarding the topic at hand. We're going to have another episode of In My Words. Now, yesterday was the National Dominican Parade. So first of all, I just want to give a huge shout out to all the Dominicans out there, okay? Whether it be those that were born on the island or those who are part of the diaspora over here. And as you say, que lo que. I really, they are a proud people and they are a wonderful people. I would have loved to have gone to the parade, unfortunately, due to the fact that my knee was acting up and I was in no shape physically to do a lot of walking, so I'm going to have to wait until next year. That's how life is. However, Saturday, I had a wonderful time because I was visited by two wonderful people who happen to be YouTube creators. And they are True Teacher and the beautiful Xtina. So they actually came and visited me in Rochester. Okay, so we had a wonderful time. We talk about amongst ourselves. We talk about our platforms. We also talk about things regarding our personal lives and things of that nature. We were able to break bread, and we hung out together for a good, say about 3 hours, and it really did my heart a lot of good. Okay, it's one thing when you interact with these YouTube creators here on this platform. It's another thing when you get to actually speak to them face to face. And I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt that True Teacher and Xtina, they're both genuine people. And I'm happy and I'm privileged and blessed to have the opportunity to spend some time with them. Okay. And of course, hopefully we will be able to get together again. Whether maybe with Christina or maybe with Rod, I don't know. But you know what? All things are possible. Okay. But I would like to visit Christina. She did say she lives in Virginia, so that's something um, that will be in sometime in the future, preferably after I have recovered. Okay, because at this point, my number one priority is to make sure that I get well. Okay, and in all fairness, those those I'm gonna visit deserve to have me as a fully healthy human being. Okay, I understand that this is something that I have to deal with, but you know, that's I believe in being fair to those who will want to hang out with me. Okay. Now I will plan to do some couple interviews sometime in the near future. What I will do is I'm going to reach out this week, and hopefully within the next 2 weeks, depending how the scheduling is, um, we will have another interview here on this platform. It is a bit of a challenge because now basically the way my scheduling is, the really uh, nights where I'm free to do any live streaming, uh, Monday and Tuesday nights. So it can be a bit of a challenge, but I'm sure it's something that I will overcome. In time, when there's a will, there is a way. Okay, and I'm so happy, and I just want to say a huge shout out to True Teacher and a huge shout out to Xtina for actually paying me a visit. I really appreciate it, and I love you guys very, very much. And I can say without hesitation, these are two genuine and real people. So, with that being said, we're going to get into the main topic. Okay, now as you can see by by the thumbnail, tonight's topic is the January 6th madness. Now, for those who for some reason don't know what happened, or maybe it's been so long ago that people have forgotten about it, um, as we all know, that in the 2020 presidential election, Joe Biden defeated the then President Donald Trump and became the 46th president of the United States. Now, every 4 years, on 2 weeks prior to the inauguration, there is a joint session of Congress to get together, which overseen by the Vice President of the United States. And the role of the Vice President, according to our Constitution, is to count the electoral votes and officially declare who is the actual winner. Okay. In order to win, you have to have 270 electoral votes. Okay. Now, unfortunately, okay, Donald Trump could not accept defeat, and he kept, stating that the election was rigged, that it was stolen, and you actually have more votes and things of that nature. So what happened was there was a mass invasion by a huge army of Trump supporters, and they had inflicted damage on government property. Unfortunately, there were some people that were killed as a result of all this. Hundreds of people were arrested. There was charges of impeachment for Donald Trump's alleged involvement with the January 6th insurrection. We all know what happened. The Senate failed to convict Donald Trump. So it is what it is. And The scary part is this: that there is a good possibility there is a good possibility that Donald Trump might become the Republican candidate for president and become the 47th president, which makes me wonder. This is a long stretch from the party of Abraham Lincoln, which actually freed the slaves, and how times have changed. It seems like the Republican Party is into depriving people of their rights to vote and due process and things of that nature. So it's sad, but you know what's even sadder is that we're gonna have a choice between Joe Biden, which is close to 80, and I don't know if he's I don't know if he's suffering from Alzheimer's or the early stages. Plus, on the other hand, we might have possibly a convicted felon who may occupy the White House. Okay. Now, let me make this perfectly clear. And I said it before, and I'll say it again. Everyone is innocent until proven guilty. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share some images, okay? So, some reactions. Just give me a moment. Okay. First of all, let me just pick something. Oops. Okay, let's try this. Okay. Just bear with me because I'm still learning how to do this. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute myself so we can see this video clip. Hold on, please. And fair use, fair use, fair use.
Hey, fucking hey, man. Glad to see you guys. You guys are fucking patriots. Look at this guy. He's got covered in blood. God bless you.
You good, sir? Do you need medical attention?
I'm good, thank you.
All right.
I got shot in the face. I got shot in the face with some kind of plastic bullet.
Any chance I could get you guys to leave the Senate wing?
We will. I've been making sure they ain't disrespecting the place.
Okay, just want to let you guys know this is like the sacredest place.
I know. Hey.
Now, as you can see, the furry, whatever you want to call it, that's the QAnon shaman, okay, that actually desecrated the so-called sacred place by his presence, okay? And actually, we're talking about trespassing into government property, okay? And then we have a person here that apparently it appears to be injured because being hit with a rubber bullet. Now, my question is, why aren't they giving this person medical attention? Why aren't they? I mean, really, I wish I knew why. I have no clue. So now I'm going to share another piece. Hold on, please. So now I'm going to show you another video clip from the images of the massive criminal insanity that occurred on January the 6th. And again, free use, free use, free use.
Almost 12 minutes of footage, much of it never seen before, showing not just the shocking violence of the crowd, but also the timing of the day's events. The goal, remind Americans of how atrocious that day was. We can't show you all of it, but here's just some of what was shared.
Yeah, just for awareness, be advised, there's probably about 300 Proud Boys.
Something's going to happen.
Mike Pence is going to have to come through for us. And if he doesn't, that will be a sad day for our country.
The doors barricade. There's people flooded the hallways outside. We have no way out.
Subways themselves. It's time to evacuate so we can secure the members on the other side. Copy.
At the center of all of this, according to the committee, was former President Trump. They call his actions an attempted coup, one they say he cheered as it was unfolding.
Now, think about it, people. Okay? Since 1789, we have had different types of individuals who were president of the United States. Okay? We have had some great presidents. We have had some crappy presidents. We have had racist presidents. We have had ineffective presidents. But never we had anyone that conducted themselves like Donald Trump did. And it was disgusting, to say the least, okay? It was disgusting, okay? That the fact of the matter is trying to undo the will of the people. For what? Because you could not deal with the fact that you lost. It's sad when you think about it. It really is sad. Okay. So just give me a moment. Oops. Just give me a moment. So what I'm gonna do is just give me a moment. That's why right now I'm just trying to add another. Oops. Okay, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to share another image. Just give me a moment. And again, fair use, fair use, fair use. Okay. Now, you know, I find it ironic. At one point, when they involve in criminal activity, is that they actually sung the national anthem. Okay? Some of these so-called patriots were yelling, hang the vice president. Okay? Some of the people hang Nancy Pelosi. Okay? Why? Because this mob, this cult, could not accept the results of our election. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that Joe Biden is a great president, not by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not even saying that Joe Biden is a so-so president. Okay? But the fact of the matter is this. Joe Biden got more than 270 electoral votes. And that is the criteria for becoming president, okay, being elected president. Okay, that is a fact. Okay. And whatever you might say about Joe Biden, more people voted for Joe Biden than Donald Trump. Okay. And that's something we have to bear in mind. Okay. Okay. I mean, just think about it. Imagine if they actually succeeded in taking over the capital. Okay. Could you imagine the riots that could occur in multiple cities? Have these thugs gotten away with it? Okay. And of course, there was accusation that Donald Trump did not call in the National Guard right away. I don't. Okay, I don't want to say yay, nay, or whatever, because really we don't know. We do not know. What we do know is that there was a group of individuals who could not accept the result of the election. There was a group of individuals that tried to overturn the results of the election. That is a fact. That is a fact. And to be perfectly honest, it is just disgusting when you think about it. Okay. Not to mention the fact people died. Okay. People actually died. Okay. That's the sad part. That is the sad part. People died, okay, and our hearts go out um, to the people that lost their lives because of this sad tragedy. Okay. Now, some of you may not like this what I'm saying, okay, and that's perfectly fine. Okay. Now, the link to join the panel it's been linked in the chat. If anyone wants to join the panel, they can do so. If anyone does not want, that's perfectly fine. Okay. But the fact of the matter is this: this was a sad situation that happened in our country. Very, very sad situation. Okay. And all because of the fact that a mob could not accept the fact that whatever you might feel about Joe Biden, okay, whatever you might think about Joe Biden, the fact of the matter is the country has spoken, okay? And at this point, it's time to move forward, okay? Now I'm just going to show two more clips, okay? And then what I'll do is I'll talk about what's going to happen regarding tomorrow's stream, which will be a much more positive one. Okay. So let me just give me a moment. And again, fair use, fair use, fair use.
Now that they're gone, that window is unguarded. What happens next? See that? Makes a bigger hole that people can jump through. And by the way, who is that guy? Take a good look. He's got black gear on. He's covering his face. Kind of looks a little bit like, what's that group again? Antifa. But who knows? What happens after that?
Do not go in there.
As soon as he says, don't go in there, he's threatened. He's pushed away very, very aggressively. Look, who is that guy, by the way? Why is he wearing a wire? He just took out a big chunk of the window, and he's got a wire. I mean, that's the kind of thing that government people sometimes wear. I know it's commercially available, but I don't know. I'd like to know. Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? Although anytime anyone talks about a commission, it's always the Democrats, it's always Liz Cheney, it's always Adam Kinzinger, and they want to talk about Trump and his role in all of this. They want to go through that speech again where he's
Now, the reason why I stopped it here, because, of course, some people want to paint an illustration, regarding it. But look, the images speak for themselves, okay? You had a mob of people who damaged property, trespass, attack personnel, okay? And unfortunately, at least one police officer and other people were killed because this mob could not accept the results of the election. Okay. Now, it was once a time where you have campaigns, okay? Sometimes they could be heated, But usually after the campaign is over, people were able to accept the results of the election. Now, this is something that's very shocking, and I found this out, I think it was 2 weeks ago. Now, here we are in 2023, almost 3 years after the results of the 2020 presidential election. And close to 70% of the Republicans actually agreed, actually believe that Donald Trump won the election. Okay? Now, mind you, again, Joe Biden won as far as the popular votes concerned, having multiple means of more votes cast in his favor over Donald Trump. Also, again, Joe Biden got over 300 electoral votes. Okay? And that is the criteria for selecting the President of the United States. Now, we can disagree regarding the Electoral College and how undemocratic it is, and we do away with it. Okay, we can we can discuss it at another time, and we will discuss it at another time regarding whether or not we should do away with the Electoral College. Okay. Now, the whole purpose of the Electoral College was the following. Okay. So that small states, that is states with small with population that's sparse, will have an equal say compared to states with large populations. Okay. So in theory, states like Rhode Island, Delaware, Vermont, New Hampshire will have the same amount of influence as states like California, Texas, New York, Pennsylvania, states where they have large populations. Okay. I think what we will do is we will have a discussion. I think we'll do it the next maybe 2 weeks on the topic whether we should get rid of the Electoral College. Okay. And of course, there are people who think it should be based on the popular vote. Okay. We will discuss it in detail. We will discuss it. Okay. Because one can argue the fact that it's more equitable if we base the results on the popular vote, okay? Or there's another option, okay? The option is, and this is something that I thought about, where you divide the country into congressional districts, okay? And you base whoever wins the congressional district by the popular vote. So let's say, for example, my congressional district, which is the 14th congressional district, okay? And let's say I'm running for president against Radical Latino, okay? And let's just say in the congressional district, there were 10,000 votes, okay? Let's just say, for the sake of argument, Radical got 6,000 votes, and I got 4,000. Based on my criteria, he will win the congressional district. You win on the congressional districts, you become president. So basically what you do is you take elements of both, which in my humble opinion, would be a more equitable way. And this way, it will force the candidates to visit all 50 states. Realistically speaking, that's not going to happen because both parties, both the Democrat Party and the Republican Party, are in favor of the status quo, which is you don't base results in the election on the popular vote, you base it on the electoral college. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to discuss what's going to be the topic for tomorrow's stream, okay, which is regarding Labor Day, okay. Now, for many people, Labor Day is the unofficial end of summer, okay. However, there is more important history regarding that. And the whole purpose regarding Labor Day is to honor the contributions of the working person, whether it be male or female, okay? And the fact of the matter is, this country um, has achieved success thanks to working individuals, okay? You have people who invested large sums of money and they became rich. However, you need personnel to build the roads, build the bridges, um, service, provide services, and things of that nature. So what I'm going to be doing tomorrow is I'm going to be talking about how Labor Day came into being, how it's really meant to honor the achievements of the working person, okay? And yes, for a lot of people, it is the unofficial end of summer, even though technically speaking, according to the calendar, summer does not end until September the 21st or the 22nd. Okay. In any case, it's usually the third week in September when summer officially ends, and then we get into the fall season. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you my thoughts when it comes to this topic, and then I'm going to call it a night. Um, it was a sad chapter in this country's history, and I'm going to say for many reasons. First of all, the fact of the matter is you had a mob who could not accept um, the reality that Donald Trump lost. And the fact of the matter is, even today, almost 3 years after the fact, Donald Trump is claiming to have won. Okay. Now, there is allegations, and again, allegations that Donald Trump knew that he lost, but for some reason kept this sham going. Um, will we ever find out? I do not know. I really do not know. But in any case, it's also a shame because the fact had this riot succeeded, we would have had riots in New York, Detroit, Los Angeles, San Francisco, San Antonio, Dallas, and virtually every large city. Okay, because unfortunately, what happened had this mob had gotten successful, it would have emboldened other mobs of people to do the same thing. And to be perfectly honest, on the day of the inauguration, there was a great deal of concern that there would be another occurrence of what happened on January the 6th. Again, our hearts go out to the family of those, I think it was 5 or 6 people who died, and I think one of them was a police officer. So, shout out to all those that did their best to protect our elected officials from getting hurt or possibly getting killed. Okay. So in any case, I'm gonna wrap this up. Um, I just it was like a temp, and in any case, you're more than welcome to enter comments after the stream is over. Just keep it respectable, okay? But you know what? This does serve as a reminder that we need to be vigilant, okay? And we need to be mindful that there are people out there who, for whatever reason, cannot accept the results of I don't want to say about democracy, but more like a republic form of government. Okay, is it perfect? Far from it. And unfortunately, at times, it has elected people that were not so desirable. Okay, and I'm going to say this again, and I know some people are going to be sick and tired of me saying it, but I'm going to say it again. I don't think anyone over 60 years old should be running for politics. Okay? Particularly when you have people like Mitch McConnell, which is in his late 80s, Dianne Feinstein, who's like 90 something years old, and then Nancy Pelosi, which is near 90. Okay? And then, look, Joe Biden has been in politics for almost 50 years. Okay? So I think we need to start thinking about term limits, not just on the president, but on the House and the Senate. But in any case, I thank you very much for allowing me to come into your home and your devices and to opine. Okay? And we can all agree to disagree. Okay? But in any case, I'm going to leave you with these words. We must do what we can to minimize content with the mentally and intellectually challenged, because if we fail to do so, we will be infected by the stupidity and massive insanity. This has been another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron, wishing all you good night. Wait a minute, I think we have a comment. Good evening, Irby. Thank you very much for stopping by. I was just talking about the sad events that happened January the 6th, 2021, when the mob tried to take over the Capitol and tried to interfere with the transfer of power, so to speak. Okay. And look, whatever you might feel about Donald Trump and Joe Biden, the fact of the matter is, what this mob did was criminal. Okay, they invaded. No problem, no problem. Okay, and I appreciate you stopping by. Tomorrow's stream is going to be a little bit more how can I say it? Educational and not as controversial. So I'm going to be talking about Labor Day and how how Labor Day came into being, and the fact of the matter is it's to the honor the working person, people like you and me, who every day do a job, whether it be working in an office, whether it be doing blue collar work or whatever. Any type of work that you do and you're proud of it, it's good work. Okay? But thank you very much. But in any case, I'm gonna wrap this up. And this has been another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Wishing all of you good night, take care, and peace.
Be strong.